What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, we are starting to burn more SPS for DEC. We are starting to see more SPS get staked overall, and therefore, what we have left is about 327 million liquid SPS. Now, keep in mind, we are getting SPS rewards that are distributed every day, some of them liquid, some of them not. But I will say this, that on the whole, we've started to see more SPS get staked than is staying liquid. But what I wanted to do is kind of reframe this from a different context for you guys over the next, we'll just call it like 6 to 8 months between now and we'll call it like next summer. Now, the reason I'm excited for next summer is because, a couple months after the Bitcoin halving, we tend to see some kind of narrative push forward. It could be gaming, it could be DeFi, it could be AI, who knows what it is. And again, it could be even nothing in the summer of 2024. But if there is something that ends up making the summer of 2024 really exciting for crypto overall, and hopefully it ends up being a gaming narrative, as that is very strong going into 2024, SPS is right there. Splinterlands is right there to take advantage. So what I kind of want to take a look at, and again, I'm using very rough numbers here, is how many new players would we need to pick up at various levels? Now, I'm going to look at this from a silver perspective and from a diamond perspective, and just to give you a range of the numbers. So we got 327 million SPS. Obviously, the expectation is once land is live, once Rebellion is live, the general sale will probably end up burning more, but I just want to be very conservative for right now. We do add anywhere from like 600,000 to a million SPS every day, and therefore what we're looking at between now and we'll call it 6 to 8 months from now is probably 180 million-ish SPS that will be coming into the mix. Again, about half of that, or a little bit more than half of that, ends up getting staked. So let's just round this up, right? Instead of going like 90 million, I just want to make it like an easy 70 million, 73 million up. And again, I'm just looking at 400 million liquid SPS that will be available sometime in the middle of next year. Hopefully it's less than that. But if it is 400 million, what I'm thinking through is what are going to be the necessary new players coming in playing at certain levels in order to take full advantage of the game. So what do I mean by that? Okay, you got 400 million SPS. Let's look at this from a silver level. If people want to come in and earn the kind of 10x multiplier reward, which I know for new players, they're not really thinking about the different multipliers, but let's say they wanted to get into the 10x kind of multiplier range, which would be 11,000 SPS per account. Well, if you were to take 400 billion divided by 11,000, that's going to get you roughly 36,000 new players that could come in and start earning at that level. Now, you might look at that and say 36,000 seems like a lot, but we actually have quite a few daily active users, like 50,000. Granted, a lot of those are botted accounts as well as playing in bronze. But all I'm trying to say is that 36,000 new players isn't actually that much. Although, that's really just in comparison and relative to where we are at right now with our 500 to 5,000 real players. Now, when you flip this around and go a little bit higher up the food chain and take a look at something like Diamond, for example, if people wanted to come in and really play at the Diamond level and earn at the Diamond level, you'd have like a 200,000 SPS threshold that people would be aiming to. Well, you take that 400 million divided by 200,000, all of a sudden, boom, you're at 2,000 players that want to come in and play at the Diamond level. Now, Diamond is a commitment. There's a lot that's required there in terms of like the cards that you need, the SPS that you need. So this is not going to be for the faint of heart. This is going to be for people coming in that understand what's going on and want to be a part of it. I don't think there's going to be that many people that end up doing it, but at the same time, 2,000 is not that high of a number. I mean, I think we do have more than 2,000 players, at least even if you include all the casuals, right, all throughout. I don't think we have 2,000 players necessarily in Diamond and Champion, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're starting to creep up towards that as people who've been around the game for a while have been collecting SPS, they've been collecting cards, and are, through ratings inflation, essentially are able to climb the ranks. So again, do we actually need 2,000 people to come in and play at Diamond? No, because people are going to come in and be playing at whatever levels. We'll probably end up burning a lot more SPS. People who are holding a lot of SPS and accumulating SPS are probably going to continue accumulating and staking that SPS as well. So the 400 million is not necessarily arbitrary, but it is just a very rough estimate. And keep in mind, we don't need to go to zero liquid SPS in order for SPS to go to the moon. If people are coming in and they want it, it's going to be something that is desired, and we will hit that, hopefully, right? Hopefully life spiral at some point where the earnings start to get so high that people come in and they want to therefore own the assets that allow you to earn. And those assets would be SPS as well as cards. So that would drive some value once SPS starts to get some legs under it and can really make some moves. And that's why it's so important, right? Because SPS carries everything, in my opinion. Cards, tokens, land, whatever it is, it's SPS that's going to drive everything. And thankfully, what we've seen so far is even with just the pre-sale of Rebellion and the rumblings of land, we've seen a good amount of SPS get burned. We've seen SPS jump from 1.3 to 1.8, which is not insignificant from a percentage standpoint. And overall, we're starting to feel a little bit of the scarcity and the supply crunch, especially on the DEC side, which is how we get our indirect SPS utility. So overall, I just wanted to share with you that context through those numbers. Again, it's very rough, and I'm not saying that we're going to get that many people or that we need that many people necessarily, but it does give, at least in my opinion, 2,000 people wanting to come in and play this at the highest levels is not very much if you think about how crazy things were in the bull run and how much money people were throwing around. Granted, you might get someone who comes in and doesn't necessarily want to play at gold, or sorry, at diamond. Maybe they want to play at gold. Maybe they want to play at silver. But keep in mind, for every new person that comes in, starts acquiring some of the assets, and most importantly, starts acquiring and staking some of that SPS, what you're going to end up seeing is that over time, that 2,000 number starts to come down and down and down for each person that comes in and starts chipping into it. And keep in mind, it doesn't even need to be a person. If people want to get their bot accounts started, right, especially over in wild format, that's going to be something where for every bot account that is trying to play at the higher levels, earning SPS, earning cards, it doesn't need to be people. It just needs to be accounts that start eating into that. Now, granted, obviously we want real people. We want people who are going to come and be competitive, be a good, spirit towards the game. But overall, I'm just trying to get to the very core of how many accounts we would need to get going within the game to really start to feel that scarcity. It's definitely not 2,000. It's going to be significantly less than 2,000 if we're going to feel that scarcity. But the crazy thing is that if the flywheel really starts to get going, we could be burning way more SPS than I am even anticipating, which would create an even deeper liquidity crisis overall. And that should help the price. That should help scarcity. That should help everything. But that's a little too much opium. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How many people do you think we're going to pick up between now and let's say next summer, if any at all? But, I'm curious to know how people are feeling overall about Splinterlands right now. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.